you can really feel the passion in love's voice as love's singing the part of the song we're in right now. And the particles are clinging to love's voice as love's singing, and love's voice is richer than an orchestra. Can you help me to define the end of the world? Is it a place, a state of matter, or a state of mind? Is it this skin that I'm wrapped in, or is it just some words that don't rhyme? Can you really feel the passion in love's voice as love's singing a part of the song we're in right now. And the particles are clinging to love's voice as love's singing, as love is richer than an orchestra. Is richer than an orchestra. Oh, the magical gem.
Little boy rivalries, huh?
Little boy rivalries.
So I was walking through Denver, and I found this. I'm walking along and I see this piece of paper on the sidewalk, and I'm hitchhiking through town. So I've been walking through town because I had a little dog and I couldn't take the bus. And as I'm walking along, there's this piece of paper on the sidewalk, and I think, wouldn't that be funny if that was a note almost specifically to me? Because I think that sometimes. And I stopped and I looked at it and I bent over. This is that piece of paper right there. Ding ding ding. It's not very exciting. But until you read what it says. Oh, the magic of words. So then I read.
Truly bizarre.
And
he just
I stood there with all my stuff on, and it said, there are always people who dare
let's go play in the city.
To seek on the margin of society, who are not dependent. There are always people who dare to seek on the margin of society, who are not dependent on social acceptance, not dependent on social routine, and prefer a kind of free-flowing existence under a state of risk. And among these people, if they are faithful to their own calling, to their own vocation, and to their own message,
He called himself Tom Sawyer.
Communication on the deepest level is possible, and the deepest level of communication is not communication,
but then again, putting definitions on things like
angel
and
it is words. It is beyond words, and it is beyond speech, and it is beyond concept.
So how are you going to film about the
which freaked me all the way out as
the motherpharm project?
And so I just spoke directly. I broke the fourth wall. I spoke to the people over there.
Yeah, which
excited the dog. Oddly enough. And so then the next thing goes, oh, this is Leone.
Hello, yo.
Yeah.
That was really awesome that you found that.
And then it says, Arnold van Gemp defined 3 distinct phases through which every pilgrim must pass. 1. Separation or detachment from the familiar. 2. Ambiguous state, which one is a part of no fixed society structure. This is called liminal. And then 3. Reaggregation. Pilgrimage complete and one returns to society. Which was incredible. Well, I had that in my wallet for a while. I've had it in my wallet since then. That was like a year and a half ago. And I went to this church in San Luis Obispo, California, a Salvation Army, and they were doing Spanish and English. And the song they were singing was this, Yo tengo un amigo, yo tengo un amigo que me ama, which means I have a friend who I love. Yo tengo un amigo que me ama, which I loved. Because, it was what it was. It was, here's my friend that I love, and then I have a little dog that I love. It's all the same thing. Alabare a mi señor, alabare, 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 alabare a mi señor. Yo tengo un amigo que me ama. And so it's sing to God, I have a friend who I love. And it reopened me back up to wanting to think about the Bible.
Dun, dun, dun.
Bum bum bum. Which you may have noticed we're singing from in Spanish on this show.
Very exciting.
Cantar alegres a Dios, habitantes de toda la tierra, sobre a Jehová con alegría. Venir ante su presencia con regocijo, cantar alegres a Dios, habitantes de toda la tierra, reconocer que Jehová es Dios. Él nos hizo y no nosotros a nosotros mismos. Y no nosotros a nosotros mismos. Pueblo suyo somos y ovejas de su prado. Cantar alegres a Dios, habitantes de toda la tierra. Entrar por sus puertas con acción de gracias, por sus atrios con alabanza, alabarle, bendecid su nombre, alabarle, cantar alegres a Dios, para siempre su misericordia. Porque Jehová es bueno, para siempre es su misericordia. Y su verdad por todas las generaciones. Cantar alegres a Dios, habitantes de toda la tierra. Él nos hizo y no nosotros a nosotros mismos.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
Come on, Jim. Come on. Come on. Wild magic gets stronger, or you try to control. Can't never take that music out of my soul. Talk about Henry David Thoreau, you they drew Hank in jail. So he wrote on the duty of civil disobedience. Wild magic gets strong, or you try to control. Can't never take that music out of my soul. Talk about Emma Goldman now. They threw that dancing anarchist in jail.
she said, if I can't make music, I don't want no part of your revolution. No, 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 no. Wild magic and strong. Oh, you try to control. Can never take that music out of my soul. Talking about Martin Luther King now. You know they threw the Reverend in jail, yeah. So he said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Wild magic is strong. More you try to control. Can't never take that music out of my soul. Talking about you, yeah, you and me. Wild magic is strong. Boy, you try to control. Never take that music out of my soul. Your phone is ringing.
My phone is. Lucy, are you gonna drop that ball?
Oh look, there's shit.
That's for both of you guys. What's up?
You look like a Buddhist monk.
Do I?
Yeah, with all your saffrons.
I feel like a Buddhist
Alright.
It's just a 30-minute loop from here, there, back. Like through the woods, across the creek. It's really pretty with the fall colors, you know.
You know every nook and cranny of this neighborhood.
Every nook.
Every nook and cranny, which leads you to understanding.
And Nanny, too.
Every crook and nanny.
Lucy, it's cool. It's cool. Be
Oh.
cool. You're cool. Oh, I forgot.
But then, oh, it's the fade.
The black. Like, put on holds, and then it never started again. And nowadays, I wonder if it's ever gonna start again. Or if I just.
What would you like to have start again?
The cycle. Well, I don't know. It's an option, you know, of going on the road again. Traveling. Moving around with my dog. Playing music in the street. It's not hard to get by. Sometimes, most of the time.
You accept it.
Yeah. And it's so liberating in so many ways. And it's you know what it's about, Jay. And how it is. How it is.
Jimbe?
Eh?
With golden lassos like spider silk umbilical cords, pulling us to the blooming womb. On the upside and down, there's an inside of right. The turtles are trying to escape. It was the sad, soft, lonely blues of a dying creature. And it made me feel like I was as real as the stenciled graffiti on a sidewalk. There's a thing that makes me sad, and I wanna make it stop. And I'm not a man who wants to call the cops, but everything's part of everything else, and I'm just a filter writing stories you can't sell. It was a sad, soft, lonely blues of a dying creature, and it made me feel like I was as real as a stencil and graffiti on a sidewalk. I am written on all of the structure of the universe. I am happening once as the fulcrum of existence. The parts of us that never die are already in the future, pulling us towards them with golden lassos like spider silk umbilical cords, pulling us to the blooming womb. On the upside of down, there's an inside of right, and the turtles are trying to escape. There's a thing that makes me sad, and I wanna make it stop. And I'm not a man who wants to call the cops, but everything's part of everything else, and I'm just a filter writing stories that you can't sell. It was the sad, soft, lonely blues of a dying creature, and it made me feel like I was as real as a stencil graffiti on a sidewalk. Viendo la multitud subió al monte.
So yeah, there's this brother Barry, and Barry wrote the first invitation to a rainbow gathering ever. He's part of the original crew. Rainbow gatherings are what I do. You could say that I specialize in. My primary vocation is wilderness sanitation for large peace prayers that happen all around the country. I build kitchens and tap springs, and then in those environments I facilitate workshops in nonviolent intervention in crisis scenarios. And Barry, the plunker is what he says, he had this van doing that stuff. And he stopped having this van and stopped doing all that stuff. No, he's still doing all that stuff, but he's stopping having this van. And he's been sort of a mentor of mine, and he put it in my hands and changed the title to me. I'd like to give him some return on that. You know, he told me, he said it was worth $155 to the junkyard and recycle. And so, like, that's bare minimum. Let's try and get that pulled off. That's sort of the idea. But that's in the future. And then, you know, you just trust me, because it's all about love. All about love.
Vosotros sois la sal de la tierra, con que será salada. Bienaventurados los que tienen hambre y sed de justicia, porque ellos serán saciados. Bienaventurados los misericordiosos, porque ellos alcanzarán misericordia. Bienaventurados los limpios de corazón, porque ellos verán a Dios. Vosotros sois la luz del mundo, una ciudad asentada sobre un monte. Vosotros sois la luz del mundo, una ciudad asentada sobre un monte. Bienaventurados los pacificadores, porque ellos serán llamados hijos de Dios. Bienaventurados los pacificadores, porque ellos serán llamados hijos de Dios.
What is your...
Okay, so the way the story goes, there's this little black dog, and he was given to me. His name's Jim Crow, Baby Rebel. Jim was given to me, I believe, as a spirit animal. A guide will be my accompaniment until I arrive at this place called the Mother Farm, this sanctuary for homeless pregnant women on an organic farm that'll be a school for midwifery and a center for disaster relief preparedness training. And when Jim was given to me, it was so that I would have a companion and also something to distract me, so I would make the right mistakes. Isn't that right, Jim? Am I making the right mistakes yet?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I liked it though.
Yeah. Well, I think that the idea that if we disenfranchise the normal men, all the men, and the women who weren't pregnant, it would free those people up to stop worrying so much about things that don't relate to their own productivity, and then it would free up the pregnant women to stop worrying about things like food and health care and start worrying about the future, because that's what matters.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying for sure that this is definitely gonna work, but I'm saying that until we get to the day where all the pregnant women in the world are carefully accounted for, and we're certain that they all have health care, and that they all have good food, and they all have a loving community to be part of, then it's not a world worth living in. And I believe that that day will come maybe directly before or directly after, I'm not sure which, from a day when everyone in the world is able to sit down comfortably, maybe stand if they are more comfortable standing, but everyone eat a meal together at the same time. All the world over, everyone knows, they're all planning it, it's all been working out, all the billions put together, one meal. How hard is that to do? You know, and then everyone knows they're safe, everyone knows they're fed, everyone knows that everyone else is safe and fed, nobody's worrying about their friend who might not be eating somewhere. No, everybody's eating the same meal. And at that point in time, I think we could call ourselves mature. Up until this point, we're just like some high school students, you know, like, we haven't really had kids, we haven't really had a coherent adult thought yet. We've played with some, you know, some mechanical equipment. We've made nuclear bombs for some stupid reason. Obviously, we're not mature. We made nuclear bombs. We're like boys with Playboy magazine. That's really what nuclear bombs are. They're the pornography of diplomacy. You have the normal diplomacy where, like, you know, you have decent relationships and consciousness, and then you have the just straight A-bomb, get it done, and that's porn. And that, I'm sorry, is where we're at until everyone sits down together and has a big meal. And I think the pathway that surrounds that is definitely going to include democracy.
los muertos.
Or, you know, yeah, hell yeah, you're down, or heaven high, I'm blessed. Woohoo! Shebang!
Well,
Y tu ve, y
they're the ones that really know what
they
are, so why not let them make all the decisions?
Now, you know, the reason I think it won't happen is because,
Sit.
arrogant fat white men are stupid and will jealously grab onto the things that they don't need to grab onto.
Get it.
We'll be like, there's no way that they can run it better than we can. Look at what we've done.
Come on.
But really, like, sure, they've done some good
Come get it.
things, but rushing forward constantly and never considering really the real moment, and always putting everyone else in a position of danger for their own pleasure. That's the fat white man. And I'm upset. I'm just morbidly terrified that I am a white man. Morbidly terrified, because that means I'm likely to do the things that encourage this sort of, you know, it's not just committing genocide, because they tend to not do so much of that. It's more creating weapons for other people to commit genocide so they can profit off of it. And that's what the fat white men have been doing. And I'm just disgusted. And that's why I think that white men should prove that they're actually statesmen and dignified citizens and put down the vote. Just be like, you know, for a little while, we're gonna trust the pregnant women and do as they recommend. And if we just did as the pregnant women recommended for a little while, you know, maybe we'd have to keep an eye on things. You know, like if they only did stuff like making sure everyone was well fed and had health care, well, then I'd say that'd probably be good governance. But if the only thing they were really doing was like, hey, let's make more weapons and sell them to people who don't know where they came from. Yeah, haha. And then maybe stupid people will kill smart people in strange regions all around the world, and vast horrors will take place, and then no one will know how to have clean drinking water. That's a good idea, and then we'll be able to use all their resources. They can't stop us then. Wow, yeah. These are the sort of thoughts that I, as a white man, occasionally go through. And I know that this is the case, and so I think the white men should just no more voting for them. Maybe everyone else allowed to vote, except for the white men, but that starts to become kind of mean.
Los que oyes, os digo. ¿Y cómo quieres que hagan los hombres con vosotros? Así también, haced vosotros con ellos. Yendo lejos, uno le dijo en el camino: Señor, te seguiré a donde quiera que vayas.
I have a child growing up inside of me, Socrates, who may or may not be mythological.
Las horas tiene
was written about his cat Plato, who appears to actually exist.
y las aves de los cielos miros.
So we guessed.
Mas el hijo de hombre no tiene donde recostar.
So Plato wrote about Socrates that Socrates said what he practices is a form
Pero a
of
vosotros,
midwifery for men's souls, as they give birth to ideas. That's the purpose of his dialectic and his philosophy. And everything he's trying to do is he's trying to be the midwife to men's hearts and souls, so that their ideas can be born fresh and full. You know, the ones that should be aborted can be just tossed out, and then the ones that can, you know, be kept, can be kept. They'll be healthy and good, you know, and everybody will be sick. And really, that's what has inspired me a lot. Yeah. All right. Mamocracy.
Play on Mamocracy.
Canarchy. Anarchy and chaos in one. And then we fade out with the black dog. And we fade in with the black dog.